Ever get that like sinking feeling? When you realize your insurance company is like taking you for a ride,
Oh, yeah.
charging an arm and a leg for premiums and then dragging their feet when you like actually need them.
Oh, the worst.
Turns out that's been the frustrating reality for a lot of missionaries dealing with traditional insurance.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
But here comes Talent Trust, this amazing organization with a 34-year history of supporting missionaries, and they're about to shake things up big time.
Oh, yeah.
They're actually launching their own insurance company.
Wow. That's a pretty audacious move, wouldn't you say?
Totally. And you, our listener, get to dive deep with us into like how and why they're doing this and what it could mean for the future of missionary support.
It should be interesting.
We've got a stack of sources here, articles, interviews, the whole shebang, and it's a wild ride.
I bet. What really jumps out from these sources is the sheer frustration missionaries have been facing for years with traditional insurance providers.
Yeah, saw that.
High premiums, slow claims processing, you name it.
Yeah, it's like these insurance giants are focused on squeezing every last dime out of their clients, and missionaries who are often working with limited budgets and facing unique risks end up getting the short end of the stick.
Exactly. And Talent Trust has often found themselves stepping in to advocate for their members, navigating the complexities of the insurance world, and even covering costs that should have been handled by the insurance companies.
So they were already like picking up the slack.
It's almost like they were already acting as an insurance provider just without the official title.
So it sounds like they reached a tipping point. Like, okay, we're already doing half the work.
Yeah,
Why not just do the whole thing and cut out the middleman?
that's a great way to put it. But here's the thing. This isn't some impulsive decision.
Oh, really?
Talent Trust has been quietly laying the groundwork for this transition for years.
Oh, yeah. They haven't exactly been sitting on their hands. We're talking a 40% increase in membership over the last 6 years, doubling their staff
Hmm.
and strategically investing their profits. They're
Smart.
clearly in it for the long haul.
And they've been very intentional about building expertise in key insurance functions. They're not just diving headfirst into unfamiliar territory.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
But what I find truly remarkable is that they've managed to maintain strong relationships with executives from their former insurance partners.
Mhm.
Get this, these executives are actually supporting Talent Trust's decision to go independent.
Really?
That speaks volumes about the respect and trust they've built within the industry.
It's pretty incredible. These executives recognize that Talent Trust has a deep understanding of the unique needs and challenges missionaries face. They see this move as a way to better serve that community.
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah.
How exactly is this new insurance model going to work?
From what we're seeing, Talent Trust is taking a very measured, conservative approach.
Okay.
They're not reinventing the wheel, at least not initially. Policy, benefits, underwriting methods, pricing, it's all going to mirror their existing model.
So a sense of familiarity and continuity for existing members?
Right.
Makes sense. But what about the nuts and bolts of running an insurance company? Don't you need a massive infrastructure for things like claims processing, medical networks, and all that?
Absolutely. And Talent Trust is addressing that head on. They're partnering with experienced providers for essential services like a 24/7 call center, global medical teams, and even evacuation services.
Wow.
So missionaries can rest assured that they'll have access to the same high-quality support they're accustomed to.
That makes sense. You wouldn't want to skimp on those crucial aspects. But I'm curious about the financial side of things. How are they actually structuring this new insurance entity?
They're forming what's known as a captive insurance
A
company.
captive insurance company.
It's a pretty common model, especially among large corporations. Think of it like setting up your own internal bank, but for insurance.
Interesting.
It gives Talent Trust greater control over their finances and allows them to tailor their operations to the specific needs of their members.
So they're basically becoming their own insurance powerhouse. Which makes me wonder, what are the real tangible benefits for missionaries on the ground? Is this just a fancy restructuring, or will it actually translate into a better experience for them?
It's definitely more than just a restructuring.
Yeah.
This move has the potential to significantly improve the missionary experience when it comes to insurance.
Okay.
One of the biggest pain points has been the slow and often frustrating claims process.
I can imagine.
With Talent Trust handling claims directly, that whole process should become much more streamlined and efficient.
Oh, that's a huge win for missionaries.
Right.
No more battling with bureaucratic red tape and endless phone calls.
Totally not.
But what about healthcare access? I know that's a major concern for missionaries, especially those serving in remote areas.
Yeah.
Will this transition affect their access to quality medical care?
Not at all.
Okay, good.
Talent Trust is committed to maintaining access to the same global hospital network previously used by Alliance and Aetna. This means missionaries can continue to receive treatment at top-tier hospitals worldwide,
That's great.
and they won't have to worry about upfront payments or navigating complicated reimbursement processes.
That's a big relief. It sounds like they've really thought this through and are prioritizing things that matter most to missionaries. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Cost.
Here we go.
Insurance premiums have been a major burden for many missionaries. Will this new model actually lead to lower costs?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And while Talent Trust isn't making any specific promises about immediate cost reductions,
Okay.
there's a strong possibility that premiums could become more affordable in the long run. Remember, they're not driven by profit maximization like traditional insurance companies.
Right. Their primary goal is serving their members, not padding their bottom line. But how exactly will that translate into lower costs?
Well, for starters, they've announced that they plan to give half of all profits back to their members. That's a pretty radical departure from the traditional insurance model, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's almost like a cooperative model where the members are also the beneficiaries. It makes you wonder if this could set a precedent for other industries, inspiring a shift away from profit-driven models towards something more community-focused.
It's an interesting thought. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
While the potential for lower costs is exciting, we need to be realistic. Running an insurance company is a complex and expensive undertaking.
You're right. There are definitely challenges ahead. Can Talent Trust, even with their experience and careful planning, truly compete with the established insurance giants?
That's a valid question.
Yeah.
And what happens if claims exceed projections? Or if they encounter unexpected regulatory hurdles?
Oh,
These are all factors that could impact their financial stability and their ability to deliver on their promises.
so while the vision is inspiring, it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
There are real risks involved.
Yes.
But it's also important to remember that Talent Trust has a proven track record of successfully managing missionary insurance for over 3 decades.
That's true.
They have a deep understanding of the unique risks and needs of this community, and they've demonstrated a commitment to responsible stewardship.
Exactly. They're not starting from scratch. They're leveraging their existing relationships with healthcare providers, evacuation services, and other key partners.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're taking a phased approach, starting with new and renewing policies, which allows them to gradually scale up their operations.
Right.
They're being very methodical and deliberate, which is reassuring.
I agree.
It suggests they're not rushing into this blindly, but rather taking calculated steps to mitigate risk and ensure a smooth transition.
So while there are certainly questions and challenges that remain, it's clear that Talent Trust is approaching this new venture with a lot of forethought and a deep commitment to their members. But let's zoom out for a moment and consider the bigger picture. What could this move mean for the broader missionary community and perhaps even beyond?
Well, if Talent Trust's model proves successful, it could inspire other organizations to rethink how they support their members, especially in areas where traditional service providers have fallen short. Imagine nonprofits, professional associations, even niche communities banding together to create their own specialized insurance solutions tailored to their unique needs.
It's a fascinating prospect. We could see a shift away from one-size-fits-all insurance models towards something more personalized and community-driven. But what does this all mean for our listener, the person who's been following this story with interest? What's the key takeaway here? I think the biggest takeaway is that this is a story of empowerment. Talent Trust saw a problem, a system that wasn't serving their community well,
Right.
and they decided to do something about it. They're taking control, creating a solution that prioritizes the needs of missionaries above all else.
It's a powerful reminder that we don't always have to accept the status quo. Sometimes the best solutions come from within, from those who truly understand the challenges and have a vested interest in finding a better way.
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder what other areas of our lives could benefit from this kind of thinking. Where else are we being overcharged or underserved by systems that just aren't designed with our best interests in mind?
The possibilities are intriguing, aren't they? Imagine artists, freelancers, those working in the gig economy groups that often struggle to find affordable and comprehensive insurance coming together to form their own collectives, pooling their resources and tailoring coverage to their specific needs.
Or think about healthcare. What if patient advocacy groups took a page from Talent Trust's playbook? and form their own insurance pools, negotiating directly with providers and pharmaceutical companies to secure better terms for their members.
It's an idea that's gaining traction in some circles. People are realizing that they don't have to be passive consumers at the mercy of large corporations. They can take ownership challenge conventions and build something better.
It's like a quiet revolution is brewing a shift towards more community-driven solutions, more transparency, more accountability. And Talent Trust is at the forefront of this movement, showing what's possible when you combine a clear vision with a deep commitment to serving your community.
It's truly inspiring. And it leaves us with a thought-provoking question to ponder. What systems or structures in our own lives could benefit from a similar shakeup? What opportunities exist for us to step up, challenge the norm, and create something more equitable, more sustainable, more aligned with our values? That's something for all of us to consider as we navigate this complex and ever-changing world.
So there you have it, a deep dive into Talent Trust's bold move to launch their own insurance company. It's a story of innovation, empowerment, and community. And who knows, it might just spark a revolution. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing for a better future.